Hello, and welcome to Meet and Beat, powered by Sport Buff. I'm your host, Zara, and this is a new interactive quiz where you get to meet your favourite sports stars, test your knowledge, play against your friends, other fans, and even win some prizes. So this is how it will work. Questions will pop up on your screen and you select an answer. You earn points just for voting, which is great. And also when you get the answer right, of course. So without further ado, let's say hello to today's Meet and Beat star guest, England rugby legend, Rachel Burford.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, very good, thanks. So good to see you. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Definitely feeling good today with the weather, how it is.
It's so good, isn't it? So nice when the sun's out. Everyone just
It
feels
makes a big
better.
difference.
It's good. So it's really, really great to have you here. So excited to get going with this quiz. And hello, if you've just joined us on Twitch, we would absolutely love you to join in with Meet and Beat tonight. All you've got to do is log into a Twitch account on your computer. It takes like a couple of seconds, no time at all. Click visible on the Sport Buff icon on the right-hand side of your screen. And then you're good to go. You're good to play and you'll be able to get yourself on the leaderboard and be in for a chance to win a rugby ball signed by our very own Rachel. Oh, a glamorous assistant shows us it as well. An awesome prize up for grabs. You wouldn't want to miss out on the chance of winning that. So, Rachel, and for you guys watching this, there are 3 rounds. First up, it's the kickoff round, all about your career, Rachel. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Awesome. Let's get
everyone.
Let's get going. So, question number 1. Which club did Rachel start her career at? Is it Tunbridge Juddians, Maidstone Rugby, Medway RFC, or Orpington RFC? So you were born and raised in Kent. How old were you when you first picked up a rugby ball?
Oh, probably 0. I was always at the rugby club with my mum and dad and my sister, but I first started playing the game when I was 6 years old, officially.
So you say your family play. Obviously, rugby runs in the blood.
Yeah, mainly down to my dad. He was the big rugby nut, and he got my mum involved. And then when my mum had me and my sister, we were always at the rugby club. So it was a case of it was something that we were so familiar with, and we just wanted to do as well. So yeah, it just ran through our blood and never left us.
Right. So tell us, picked up at age 0. Then what was the next thing for you? Where did you go after that?
Oh, so I played at. I can't say yet.
Go for it.
I can reveal. I played my rugby at Medway Rugby Club, where I played there for 10 years.
So yeah, correct answer for those who selected Medway. And you played in the same team as your mum and your sister at one point, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. So when I turned 16, I was allowed to play senior rugby, and my mum and my sister were already playing in the women's team. And I had quite a big decision to make where I wanted to go to a Premiership club to follow my kind of England career. And I said I would always regret not playing one season alongside my mum and my sister. So I stayed there for one season and played alongside both of them.
That's so lovely. And memories you'll always cherish as well, forever.
Yeah, so exactly.
You were snapped up to play for England in 2006. So the next question is, who did Rachel make her full international debut against? So in 2006, was it A, France, B, South Africa, C, Wales, or D, Australia? So yeah, take me back to that first cap. What was the event, without giving too much away? What was it like being selected to represent your nation?
It was incredible. It was quite a big shock because I was quite young, and it was a major tournament. So normally you take experienced players with you to those tournaments. And I remember my first game, I just was so excited, but so nervous, like never felt these kind of nerves before. And I remember just walking out of the changing room, and we were heading towards the pitch, and the forwards coach didn't really say much to the backs back then. And he just pulled me aside and he gave me a couple of really, really nice words about, how I progressed to get where I am and to believe in myself. But it just gave me what I needed. Yeah, exactly.
And what was the event?
It was the Rugby World Cup in 2006, and it was based out in Canada. So yeah, normally you don't really go to an event like that having not been capped before. So it was really, really a real privilege. It was myself and one other as well.
Yeah, talking about stepping up to the world stage on your for your first cap. Yeah, what's that honor like? That pride for being selected. What was that feeling like?
It's overwhelming because it's something that you always hope you're gonna get, and then when you finally arrive at it, you just can't believe it. You're so elated. I remember when I first got the call up, all I wanted to do was call my dad and let him know, because you're not the only one who's made lots of sacrifices. If anything, your family and friends have probably done more for you than you've done for yourself over that time. So the opportunity to phone them, but the coach literally phoned me up, and he's Australian at the time, and he was just chatting away for ages, telling me about, you're going to go to the World Cup and you picked everything. And I was like, can you get off the phone to me? I want to call my mum, my dad. He was just chatting away for about a good half an hour. I was like, oh my God, I don't even know what we spoke about, because all I cared about was trying to get hold of my dad.
Yeah, just want to put that in a WhatsApp. Just, send me the details.
Oh, no. I don't think WhatsApp existed back then.
No, it might not have been actually. But well, they must have all been so proud watching you at home. And if you selected South Africa as your answer, thumbs up. Awesome. What would you tell, Rachel then, for everything you know now, what would you tell that 2006 Rachel?
Oh God, that's quite a big question. I'd probably just to say, relax and enjoy it. I think you get so caught up in all the process and doing everything right and you do want to be part of that, but you also want to make sure that you can sit back and really enjoy it as well. And I think probably in that first year, I was so nervous about things because it was a surprise to be in that environment. And I was in awe of all these players around me. I probably forgot to enjoy it that little bit more.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? A lot of athletes say that they sometimes you're so focused that it's always remembering to enjoy it. That's what you're doing it for. That's why you play. That's why you love it. Question number 3. How many Rugby World Cups has Rachel played in? A, 6, B, 5, 3, C, 3, and D, 1. So we know it was 2006. Was it just 2006, or have there been more? That is the question. Who was your sporting hero growing up, Rachel?
Probably in a rugby context, it was somebody called Mickey Skinner. And just to give everybody some context about this person, he used to play flanker, and he used to be called Mick the Munch, and he used to have this big mullet. And I just remember how commentators used to talk about him, and how in the rugby club when the games were on, how people would just be like, oh, every time he made a tackle. And I think that just drew me to him. So probably Mickey Skinner. But then I think female-wise, I very vividly remember Sally Gunnell, and watching her at the Olympics and watching her win was something that I kind of just gravitated towards.
Yeah, she's an amazing athlete. And also, going back to Mickey Skinner, he used to play for Harlequins as well. And as you do now as captain, how are you? How are Harlequins faring at the moment?
Yeah, we're doing really, really well. We're sitting second in the league at the moment, and we just drew against top of the league at the weekend. I've not been involved in the last few games due to an injury, but yeah, all things considered with COVID, we have to do things slightly different. And we actually have played some adapted rules this season as well. But at the moment, we're in a really good spot. We've got semi-finals coming up in a couple of weeks' time. And then, it's, the gloves are off, then it's an opportunity to get into a final.
Yeah, exciting. Big year for women's rugby. We'll discuss that in greater length as we go through our quiz. Going back to the answer, if you selected 6, then you've got the points there. So well done. I thought that might have been a bit of a tricky one because talk me through it. You won 4 Rugby World Cups for 15s. So go through those first for me.
Yeah, so I obviously went to 2006 Rugby World Cup. That was my first one. Then I was selected in 2010 for the World Cup, which was actually held in England. Then we went to France in 2014, and then also 2017 we went to Ireland. But during all of my 15s career, I've also played sevens, and I went to the 2009 Sevens World Cup in Dubai, and I also went to the 2013 World Cup in Russia. So that's how you got to the amount of 6.
Yeah. Talk about, I'd be proud of just 1, but 6 is pretty amazing. It's an unbelievable achievement. How different is the sevens game to the 15s? And could you choose, if you had to choose one, could you, or is that, a tough question?
Yeah, no, it is a really tough question because they both got differences that you love about them. Yeah. But I think ultimately, on a sevens pitch, it's fast paced, it's high tempo, it's end to end stuff. There's a lot of space on the pitch. You have to be a lot fitter, but not necessarily fitter, but a different type of fitness. You need to be able to have like a really strong repeatability to go fast, then recover very quickly, go fast again. Whereas in 15s, there's a few more, like the ball can slow down a bit more, or there's more people on the pitch to cover things. So, and the other thing is that, in 15s, if you make a mistake, you can recover. Whereas, most times on a sevens pitch, you drop a ball, you miss a tackle, then it's looking like try time, and it's really difficult to try and get that mistake back. So, yeah, very different, but equally very similar. The skills, the tactics you're trying to play against the opposition. Yeah, my younger self would say sevens, and probably my older self would say 15.
Smart answer. I like it. Right, question number 4. Which year did Rachel receive England's Player of the Year award? Was it 2010, 2012, 2014, or 2018? An incredible achievement. So many accolades to your name, so many titles. You're a World Cup winner as well. Let's not forget that. But what has been your greatest achievement, would you say, in your sporting career?
Oh, that's really tough. I have a few. Genuinely, one of them is playing alongside my mum and sister.
Yeah,
it's a memory and an opportunity that just I would never get the chance again. And you don't hear many players who get to play alongside their mum and their sister. So that was one of them. And in my first cap, that was another big one, just because of all the sacrifice my family had made and I had made to get to that point. But you can't look past winning the World Cup in 2014, having been there twice, and we came up short twice, and then to finally get the gold medal was unbelievable. It really was. And the greatest thing about it was, so we went to the House of Parliament, where it goes to 10 Downing Street to meet the Prime Minister, and
as you do,
but we hadn't won the World Cup for 20 years. So the squad previous that had won the World Cup came along as well. And I remember so clearly, Jill Burns, who was part of that winning World Cup squad in 1994, she said, you know what, this is something that nobody can ever take away from you, and it will stay for you for the rest of your life. And none of us really thought about it like that. And now you can completely understand that now. You've moved on from those moments.
Yeah.
That now it's 2021, but I'm a world champion from 2014, and that's something that group will always have something in common and something to cherish.
And talking of things to cherish, you've got one next to you, I believe, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Had to ask you. I had to see it. The fans.
Yes. So this is the gold one. Oh, nice in the sunlight.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it just lives in the drawer though. It doesn't live anywhere special. Just in the bottom drawer, and it has like you see the 2014
stunner
France. Good place to win it as well in France.
Yeah, definitely an amazing achievement. You won it in 2014. And if you selected 2014 as your year that Rachel received the England's Player of the Year award, then you would be right. It was 2014 as well. 2014 is the year of that question.
It was a good year.
It was, yeah, I'd say so. Right, next up, the Grand Slam round, all about the Women's Six Nations, which is coming up. How excited are you for the event? And what are your thoughts about the new reduced format as well, Rachel?
Yes, I'm really excited about the event. You know, Six Nations is one of the most incredible tournaments. You know, it's the second highest tournament in the world at bar the World Cup. So that's really, really exciting. And all the girls are up at Doncaster now. Really looking forward to it. In terms of the shortened format, I think it's right because of where we are with COVID. However, I would want to see the old format come back where everybody gets to play against everybody. The only thing I might want to see is maybe, you know, a little final at the end of having played everyone, and then 1 versus 2 again, and you get another shot at the end of the tournament. But yeah, really looking forward to it kicking off this weekend. You know, England versus Scotland. It's going to be epic.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. Right, let's get into the next question then. Rachel is a 6-time Grand Slam champion. Yes or no? You've featured in, what is it, 8 or 9 Six Nation tournaments for England?
You're testing me now. One of them too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
How much? Yeah, count on your fingers. That's what I usually do. How much has the women's game grown since you started playing, since your first Six Nations?
Oh, dramatically. Like, without any question. I remember my first Six Nations, I just got back from the World Cup, and we were at a rugby club which had maybe 30 seats, you know, and now it sells out at Sandy Park, at Harlequins, the Stoop, you know, 12, 15,000. Women, so many people are watching now online. Audiences are huge. The investment, honestly, they're worlds apart. They're absolute worlds apart. I think everybody was in the crowd back when I first did my first Six Nations in 2007. I think it was just our mums and our dads, and maybe your brother or your sister, if you got on well with them, were in the crowd. Whereas now we have genuine fans. You know, people want to grow up and be like the girls who are like the Red Roses, and cherish that. And I think it's an incredible step where we've come from.
Yeah, it's so good to see the hype as well now, isn't there? And seeing all the young girls inspired, and you know, you're a big part as well of that. You know, you've done amazing things in lockdown, haven't you, with the Girls Rugby Club? If you want to talk me through that, and yeah, tell us what that's been like.
Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know, the Girls Rugby Club, it's like, at the moment it's a bit of an online platform because of COVID, but we have got our Easter camps up and coming. But it's about creating opportunities for young girls to get into the game and experience. You know, the game has given me literally so much, and I would not be anywhere near where I am today and the opportunities I've had if I didn't play rugby. And I just want other people to experience that and see what a sport can do for you. And that's basically the essence of what the Girls Rugby Club is. And yeah, COVID has actually allowed us to reach out to more people and do lots of stuff online. And yes, so we're in a really good spot at the moment, but I can't wait to get out the pitch with the girls literally next week it is.
Good to hear. And going back to that question number 5, the answer was yes, Rachel is a 6-time Grand Slam champion. I wouldn't expect anything less. Question number 6. So, well, Rachel played a key role, didn't you, Rachel, in securing the title at the 2019 edition of the Six Nations. So the question is, who did England defeat at Twickenham to confirm the Six Nations title? Was it Wales?
Sorry. I was going to say, I had to check this because I couldn't remember.
Well, yeah, if only you could play as well. Was it Wales, Ireland, Italy, or Scotland? You know, they're playing against you as well, Rachel. They're testing your knowledge.
I had to get the shirts out because we had our shirts engraved for that. So I had to get that out just to double check it again.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, 2020 was a big year, wasn't it? Because England defended the Six Nations title. Can they make it 3 in a row? Can they make it a hat trick, do you think?
Yeah, they definitely can. Look, we're still in that place at the moment where it's probably between England and France. And I think this is a nice way for a competition to end, because often that fixture is often first up or the second week, and then everyone's kind of like, oh, right, Well, if England beat France, then they've won it. If France beat England, then they've won it. So it does feel for a lot more excitement. But they have the talent to win it, absolutely. But, you know, pressure happens on the day, and sometimes you don't get the 50-50 calls, and it goes the other way. So, yeah, it's going to be an exciting one for sure.
What matchup are you most excited about at the 2021 edition?
All the games. I genuinely love watching all the battles go out. You know, between England and Italy, Italy have always been our nemesis. Like, they're always just like that banana skin. They're just so crazy. That's how we try and talk about it. And every time we do analysis on them, when we play against them, they do something completely different. So it's always one of those that could be a real banana skin for you. So looking forward to that one. But I have to say that it is the England-France one that I'm really, really looking forward to the most.
Yeah. Well, the correct answer to question 6 was Scotland. Isn't that right, Rachel? After your prep. And as you rightly said, England are set to face Scotland in the opening game very, very soon. So yeah, check out that game. Right, question number 7. At the 2020 edition of the Six Nations Championship, which England player was the top point scorer? Was it Jessica Breach, Emily Scarrett, Sarah Hunter, or Victoria Fleetwood? 4 incredible players that you...
I hope you know the answer.
I do, don't you worry. But yeah, 4 incredible players.
I think I know.
Are there any red roses to keep a particular eye on at the 2021 Six Nations, Rachel?
Eddie Kildan. She's fullback for England and for Wasp Ladies, and she's really, really coming into her own. She stepped across from 7, so we hadn't actually seen much of her. So it's really great to see her get an opportunity. So definitely El Kildan, Shauna Brown. She's really developed over the last couple of years and really stepped into the position. She was originally a flanker and moved to front row. Oh God, I couldn't literally name all of them. Helena Rowland, Leanne Riley, Meg Jones as well. She plays at Wasp. She's been unbelievable. Definitely one to watch out for. So yeah, from an English point of view, 1 to 15.
1 to 15. pick any.
Yeah,
oh no, exactly. It's brilliant. Well, I can reveal that the top point scorer was Emily Scarrett.
I thought it was Emily Scarrett.
How good
she
is...
then became the top point scorer, hasn't she, for England against Scotland? Yeah,
she's the highest point scorer, I think, ever for England. So amazing player. How good is she, Rachel?
She's not that good. She's got good people around her.
All right.
Yeah, she's, you know. No, she's good. She's a player that is just very calm, collective, knows exactly what she wants to do, and is able to kind of pull that trigger when she needs to. Just a real calm head, and someone like that is really, really like valuable within the team. So yeah, she's just average, you know.
Yeah. I love it. Well, if you've just joined us, I'm having a ball. I hope you are too. Hello, we're here with Rachel Burford, England rugby legend, for a special meet and beat powered by Sport Buff. And you can still play. Please do just log into a Twitch account on your computer and click visible on the Sport Buff icon, and you'll get yourself on that leaderboard and in for a chance for winning an awesome prize. So let's move on to, there we are. Let's move on to the third and final round. It's the bonus points round. So there's more points up for grabs here if you pick the right answer. So question 8. Let's talk pre-match rituals, Rachel.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So the question is, what does Rachel always do without fail before a game? Does Rachel take a nap? Do 75 squats? FaceTime a friend or call, or any of your social media versions? Or drink an espresso. So yeah, all four good options in my opinion. But let's talk about your injury. So you've had some time away from playing, and how are you doing now?
Yeah, no, I'm doing really well. So I managed to tear my calf. I did a 15 centimeter calf, which if anybody's seen my calf, my legs aren't that long. So it's pretty much half of my calf I managed to tear. And I was playing keepy uppies with a football. So don't ever play
Oh
keepy
no, it
uppy.
wasn't even it wasn't even your sport.
No. But I've had a really, really incredible turnaround. I'm kind of like 4 weeks early from where I should have been. So if there was, if I'd managed to get a little bit more running in last week in the build-up towards the game, then I would have been able to play. So yeah, overall, like obviously gutted to miss quite a few games, but now the prospect of me being back a lot sooner than expected is really, really good. So I have to thank my physio for that. She's taking all the credit.
Yeah, we'll see you back on back on the pitch soon then for Harlequins women, which will be great to see. And your captain as well, how awesome is it being captain?
Yeah, I mean it's a real honour to be the leader of the squad. But it comes with like great responsibility as well, and it is tough at times. But we've got a leadership group, so the likes of Abby Ward, who'll feature this weekend, I'm sure, in the England side. Leanne Riley, Vic Cornbrough. There's so many players within that I can lean on, and I can ask for support, and vice versa. That it does. I know everyone says it, like, it makes things easy leading on the pitch, but it genuinely does. When there's tough decisions to be made, I know that I've got people, that will just back what I think, or if I'm not sure, I've got somebody right there to support me as well.
And also, just going back to injury, concussion, it's been a topical point talking point in sport, hasn't it? As a reported match injury in contact sports, there's loads of medical research going on. In rugby, I know. What are your thoughts on this topic and the awareness and development in the women's game, maybe?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think rugby's actually taken a real responsibility to investigate, to make sure that we're looking and understanding concussion as best we can, and putting intentions in place to try and make it as safe as possible. But look, like anything, contact or non-contact, horse riding, gymnastics, they're not contact sports that you can get concussion from them. And arguably, other non-contact sports, it can happen. And, it's all about the risk and reward. And I think at the moment, rugby could be seen as in a place where, it's always reported about concussions, but it's because it's being active, it's being proactive, it's trying its best to mitigate as much as possible to make the game as safe as possible. So for me, it is a dangerous aspect of the game, but it could happen to anybody in other sports as well. But yeah, I think as long as we keep looking at research and we keep learning about it and we take it really seriously, then we can continue to progress in that area.
Well, it's great to hear your insight on that. And I guess on a slightly lighter subject, going back to question 8, the answer was you like to drink an espresso, Rachel, before a game.
I do. My team manager is amazing. She always has it just under the chair for me, just after warm up.
First class service. I like it.
Very, yeah.
Nothing like a bit of a caffeine hit. Okay, question number 9. Rachel has a secret skill, but what is it? Does she play the drums, speak Polish, be amazing at judo and wear the black belt with pride, or crochet some jumpers like really, really well? So which secret skill is it? And Rachel, wow, you're such a busy woman and athlete, keeping young girls active during lockdown, obviously captain for Harlequins women, and congratulations as well on your most recent appointment as the head of women's rugby at the International Rugby Players Association. So yeah, tell me more about that role.
Yeah, so I've been working with the Rugby Players Association for a number of years now, on more of a voluntary basis. I started to get involved in administration very loosely about 4 or 5 years ago. And then this opportunity came up to apply for head of women's rugby, and I was successful to take it on. And so basically we represent players around the world, the member association. So for instance, the Rugby Players Association for England will consult with them, and then we'll be kind of that middle body between our players and World Rugby on all matters, things like concussion, things like player loads and competitions and tournaments, how we're going to commercialise the game, Rugby World Cup. So yeah, it's a really interesting role, and yeah, I'm loving it at the moment.
Oh, good luck. And going back to the answer, Rachel speaks Polish, don't you, Rachel?
Do.
When did you learn to speak Polish?
Well, my mum is Polish, so I'm not completely fluent. In fact, I'm nowhere near fluent. I don't know why I said completely. I speak enough to get by if I'm out there. But yeah, so it's down to my mum.
Favourite place in Poland?
Probably Wrocław, which is where my mum is from and where we always go and visit. There's always beautiful lakes that we go that are really nearby that we always go to.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I've been to Poland a couple of times. I love it. Okay, question number 10. What food does Rachel love the most? Is it chicken, salad, pizza, or ice cream? Making me hungry now.
To be fair, I like all of them.
Yeah, they're all, yeah.
If you had to pick.
Yeah. You win points for all of them, which you actually do. So yeah, what do you like to do to relax when you're not doing all your thousands of jobs?
Well, I was just looking for my 2 dogs. I've got 2 dogs that we always go walking in the woods with. So yeah, just trying to switch off, leave technology at the door, do some reading, podcasting. I always want to keep trying to learn. So wherever I'm not doing something, I end up doing something. But that's good for me. Like some people like to literally do nothing, but that makes me more agitated than relaxed. So yeah, but like when the weather's good, just kind of go for nice walks or go down to the beach, just really chill out.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been doing thousands of walks, haven't we? But it's good. It's really good to get out and yeah, like you say, get some fresh air. So let's reveal your correct answer, even though they're all correct. No, but you're the answer you picked, which is
chicken.
Specifically Nando's chicken.
Yeah, well, I think any type of chicken, I'm somebody who could literally eat chicken every day of the week, whereas like my friends like, no, I need a variety. But yeah, I think I might have Nando's tonight as well, actually, because I've got another meeting after this, so I'm a bit tight for time. So double chicken pizza for me.
Delicious. All right, well, let's move on to the final question before you have your chicken. Which women's rugby event is Rachel most excited about this year? It's a big year, isn't it, Rachel? Loads to look forward to. But the selections are the 2021 Women's Six Nations, which we've talked about, which starts very soon. The Rugby Sevens at the Tokyo Olympics, and the Premier 15s final. So they're the 3 options. We would have had the Rugby World Cup, but it's been postponed. You think that's the right decision, obviously, of COVID and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we want it to be the spectacle that it can be, and also to only have Kiwi fans, but nobody wants that. No, we want to be able to go across the border and support the Rugby World Cup in 2022. So yeah, I think it's definitely the right decision.
Yeah. You're such a trailblazer when it comes to the women's game. And what words of wisdom or advice would you give to young girls? I'm sure you do, with your women's rugby club on a regular basis. But what's your legacy, basically?
I think my advice is always, especially to people who are picking up a rugby ball for the first time, is just remember, allow yourself to be a beginner, because I think we start things and we expect to be an expert in them, and that's just not how it goes. And you wouldn't do that in anything else. You know, if you start a new job, you wouldn't be like, oh well, I can't do this after one day of it when it's tough. So definitely allow yourself to be a beginner, and just to enjoy it, have fun with it, because my most favorite memories is when I'm like 13, 14 and I'm with all the girls and we're in the back of the bus and we're singing along. We've just played a game. God knows if we won or lost, but it's those kind of enjoyment memories that I remember being in the changing room, you know, and us all like kicking out mud off the boots and things. I think just whatever it is that you do within the game, whether you're refereeing, coaching, volunteering, just being a supporter of somebody who's in it, just enjoy it. Get stuck in and enjoy the process.
Awesome. Well, let's go back to the answer, which was rugby sevens at Tokyo 2020, which is obviously going to be 2021 because it's been postponed. But yeah, tell me about that event and what we should be looking out for.
Yeah, well, it was a tough one. I mean, I'm looking forward to all of them. Let's just be straight there. I really am. But the Olympics doesn't come around that often. We've already had to wait another year for it, and the excitement of what Olympic Games brings for the sport, and that's probably why it tipped it, because people literally stumble across the Olympics. Like, I mean, during the Winter Olympics, I got excited about curling. I've never done curling in my life, but it's just it's the Olympics effect. So that's why I got so excited, and why I'm so excited about watching that event this year, because I know what it can do on the back of it for the game as a whole.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I can't wait. So yeah, the rugby sevens at Tokyo, going to be awesome. That is actually the end of the quiz. So thank you so much, Rachel. Let's check the leaderboard to see who is at the top.
Who's going to win this?
Yeah. Oh, it's on the head as well. And the winner is Shoxy 91. So well done. Very, very well done. You get the clap from the England rugby legend as well. So please reach out to us on socials. We'll get in touch, and the prize will be over to you very, very soon. Thank you so much to everyone for playing. I've loved it. I hope you have as well. Everyone at Sport Buff has absolutely loved it as well. So thank you, Rachel. And keep an eye out as well on socials for future meet and beats. There's plenty more to come with more sporting sensations. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.